Thing over, yeah, I don't know. I would think there'd be a mouse in there too, but I don't see one.
But it's not much better than a stock cooler. But this is where the issue started to happen.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Maddie with the Toasty Bros, and today we've got an interesting one for you. This is actually from Woot, a company by Amazon, and it actually was a really, really good price because this thing should have been over $1,000 and we paid under $700.
At under $700, getting a 1660 Super with an 11th Gen i5 and this, well, ready-to-go gaming PC, I think we got a really good deal here. But before we dive into this, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by Corsair and their K70 RGB Pro premium full-size gaming keyboard that takes the legendary K70 to the next level. It features the same durable aluminum frame, beautiful per-key RGB backlighting, and sets a new standard for keyboard performance with the new Axon hyper-processing technology that allows input to 8 times faster than the conventional gaming keyboard. It also comes with a wide range of different Cherry MX switches, super useful media keys, and a volume roller. Check the link down below to learn more, and special thanks again to Corsair for sponsoring today's video.
So as we mentioned, we bought this from Woot, and if you haven't heard of them before, look them up for sure because they have a lot of really good deals, mainly because they focus on refurbished, used, and renewed products from Amazon.
So when we saw this deal, we were like, well, we like reviewing pre-builds from Amazon, but we never purchased anything directly from Woot, or Woot.com to be specific. So yeah, definitely check out the website for more deals like this one and check the link down below for this one. But yeah, let's just not waste any more time and open it up and see what we have inside.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing opened up. Matt's gonna tell you guys some of the specs. I volunteer him as tribute.
He volunteers me as tribute. So once again, this features an i5-11400F. We got that 1660 Super. We got 16 gigs of RAM at 3000 megahertz dual channel, 500 gig SSD, 1 terabyte hard drive, and it comes with a 350 watt power supply. So it's probably a proprietary power supply. What does that letter say? Does it say it's refurbished?
Yeah, it says open box, refurbished, or pre-owned. It could be any of them, and it could be any of these products, but they do tell you that refurbished is 180 days. Doesn't say for like anything else though, so we'll just assume it's 180 for all of them. We have some instructions that have clearly been used before. They've clearly tried to figure this thing out before. It looks like we probably have a keyboard and maybe mouse in here. Feels kind of heavy.
MSI seems to always provide stuff like that.
Yeah, MSI's nice. That's just a keyboard, but it looks like it's gonna have some nice lighting. Full-size keyboard. Membrane though, it's not mechanical, so keep that in mind. I think we'll just
Anything else, just computer?
This thing over. Yeah, I don't know. I would think there'd be a mouse in there too, but I don't see one.
The box just says keyboard, so you're stuck without a mouse.
Yes, you only really need a keyboard if you're good.
Yeah, you gotta be a good gamer. Use a controller.
Yeah, one hand and keyboard in the other.
Yep. All right. Oh. This is a very compact computer for how big the box is.
Yeah, we got a mouse in here. It actually came with like a cover, but it just wasn't on. Just shoved in there. That definitely gives me high hopes. It looks like we have the Wi-Fi antenna. Really nice antenna. It's one that goes on top. Has a stand for it even. This is why it was returned. Horrible design. Okay, I don't even know. It goes in like some way. Here we have actually a pretty decent mouse that definitely looks like it has some use to it. I think, is that for weights?
Oh, who still uses weights?
I'm like, why do I keep trying to open things when I can't like open anything? Yeah, it has weights in it and it's filled. This thing is heavy. I mean, look at those weights. They're probably pure lead. All right, so we got that nice braided cable. We have our power cord. We dropped just some bubble wrap. But the PC, it's upside down.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely. So this is
it's used.
Yeah, so we definitely got like a kind of almost eBay special in a sense, except it does have a warranty. It's kind of, backed by Woot and MSI. Maybe both, maybe only one, but it looks like a pretty decent computer. I mean, you're definitely missing out, like not having, nice tempered glass. You just have this acrylic, like half panel, kind of like a back in the day case. It does look like we have a LED switch right here. It says RGB LED. We have 2 USB 3s. We have our typical dual jacks for audio, big power button there. On the back, power supply. I normally don't only do this with laptops, but here I am. Our typical I/O, you're not going to be using any of these, by the way, because you do have a dedicated graphics card that actually has 4 display outs, which is really nice. You can do up to 4 monitors, and there's our Wi-Fi expansion card. Let us open this up.
Let's open it up. It looks very old for the specs.
It does. It almost like maybe they put it in an old case and that's why it's cheap.
There's a damaged case or the case was just garbage. I want to see what this 350 watt power supply is.
Is it really 350 watts?
Yes, that seems kind of low.
And it's like, it's not even proprietary, it doesn't look like.
It looks standard, so I don't. Yeah, it's standard, all right. It's FSP, so I mean it's at least a decent brand, but
Yeah, is it? I don't know if it's rated. It doesn't really show that it has any ratings. It's 350 watt, and yeah, it's definitely low. I mean, it's MSI. They probably tested. Do we have? Okay, yeah, we have a Western Digital SN550 NVMe, which is a 500 gig, and it looks like we have a Seagate Barracuda 1 terabyte green drive. Here is our 1660 Super, which is actually a really nice MSI model. Thanks to MSI for having it inside their case here. We do have 2 sticks of XPG RAM, and it looks like they're 8 gigs a piece. I don't really know the speed,
I think
but
it's 3,000. That's at least what it was advertised.
That would make sense. Most pre-built companies aim for like 3,000. Yep, 3,000 DDR4. Well, wait a minute. Is this? It's only 8 gigs, right?
Yes.
Okay, because they used 16 gig kits, because that's.
Well, no, it says it was 16.
Oh no, it is. Okay, I'm being dumb. These 32 gig kits, 8x4. So this was originally 4 sticks, and then they break them up to save money. And then
I think it looks pretty standard. There should be an 11 Gen i5 under that cooler that looks like it has RGB around there.
Yeah,
but it's not much
definitely
better than a stock cooler.
It's definitely a little bigger. It's not, the heat sink's not as like compact and pressed together. Really not much room for cable management in the back, so everything's kind of up front. The back panel does come off, but there's really no reason for it. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good overall. I wonder what motherboard. It looks like it's an MSI Pro board. It's Micro ATX, so probably just like a basic B460 or something like that. Wait, is it 11 gen?
It's 11 Gen, so
Oh, so B560, or it'd be an H510, which could be an H510 because it does only have 2 RAM sticks and everything. So yeah, I mean, overall it looks pretty good. The real question is,
does it work? Does she actually work? And yeah, when we do some testing, I'm curious now. I want to see how much power this thing's actually pulling, because having that 350 watt power supply is probably a big concern for a lot of you at home, but I have a feeling it's probably going to hover around the 200 watt range if it actually turns on properly. And look at that.
yeah, looks like RGB wise it's just the fan, and then,
Oh, look at that. We got some RGB.
but I think it only changes. Yeah, I think that's separate. I think it's 3-pin ARGB, and then this is on its own thing. So, you know, you have to customize both of them separately, but not a big deal.
So yeah, what we're gonna go ahead and do now is load this thing up with some games, test it, and see what it can do, and also check on that power supply. But at least it's not proprietary. So in theory, if you are gonna do like a GPU upgrade in the future, you can upgrade that power supply by yourself. So do that.
Alright guys, now that we have this PC from Woot kind of booted up and ready to go, let's talk about it real quick, because there were some issues that we have to discuss. First up, when we got this thing plugged up and ready to turn on, it would not boot to Windows. It looked like the Windows 10 install was just corrupted and wasn't going to work properly. We tried troubleshooting it for a little bit, and we thought it'd just be easier just to install Windows 11, or you could do Windows 10 if you wanted to. We just had a Windows 11 USB handy, and just try to get this thing to actually boot in. So we did that, and it actually worked. The drive showed up, everything worked properly, and we got in to test some games, but something else happened after we tested a couple games. But let's talk about those tests real quick. Apex Legends medium settings at 1080p, 120 plus FPS. I think that's very respectable for the specs. A 1660 Super with an 11400, absolutely great configuration if you can pick it up, especially at the price that we did. We start to see one of the flaws is the case design. We're getting really high GPU temps, 85C. That's where we start seeing some of the issues. But we weren't dealing with anything major. The system was working, it was just running a bit hot, so that was something I could live with. But when we moved on to Halo Infinite, we started to get, well, still good numbers. Halo Infinite 1080p low settings, 100 plus FPS, no problems whatsoever. But this is where the issues started to happen. After we were done playing that for a while, still getting the high temps and everything, we had a shutdown. The PC shut down, and when it restarted, we had artifacting. As you can see right here, I tried to get the capture card to capture what we were seeing, and you can kind of see the green artifacting we were dealing with. Yeah, it wasn't great, and after that, the PC just wasn't going to work properly. So I don't really know if this being a refurbished PC that it was sent back because of this reason, and maybe it just started working fine for the person once they got it back and they just deemed it good to go without any extensive testing, or this is just another random issue. But regardless, it's definitely a hard pass from us. I would not recommend picking up this PC unless you just have some money to hope that you're going to get one that works. It is kind of cool that you're getting a actual 1660 Super. It's not just some OEM card, it's an MSI model, but it was running very very hot in that case. So even if you do get something like this, I probably would suggest doing a case swap if this is going to be your primary system. But yeah, overall, it didn't work out very well for us, as you can tell. We ended up sending the PC back to Woot. So when you see the outro and we have another computer, that's why we sent it back, because we weren't going to have a system with a dead GPU on our hands, especially in the GPU shortage we're living with right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It didn't work very well, but when it did work, it worked great. How to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
All right, guys, do you notice that this PC suddenly transformed into a different PC? Well, that's because we had to send the other one back to Woot, and sadly, we may have just gotten a dud, but it also could have all been like that. I mean, for all we know, they could have all had artifacting cards. It's really hard to say. Obviously, we're not gonna sit here and tell you guys we recommend it. The deal was good, but not for an artifacting graphics card.
So if you want to check out any other PCs from Woot, we'll leave some links down below, but again, be warned with the refurbished listings. You never know exactly how much they've actually tested those PCs before they send them back out. And I have a strong feeling that there was the same issue with the PC originally, and they just didn't test it enough to get the artifacting and stuff like that. So yeah, you can hunt on Woot if you want to try to find some deals, but buyer be warned.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And also don't forget to check out this upcoming video on the channel. We also have our own PC selling business where we have a 1-year parts and labor warranty, and we'd like to think that you're not gonna have to return your PC to us.
But if you have to, we have a warranty and a team of awesome people to help you out by gaming PCs from us, gaming laptops, and other technology items. PCBros.tech, use code ToastyBros2 on checkout to save 2%. See you guys later, goodbye.